Sure, this will be a very level-headed discussion and nobody will get upset. So I didn't know about this. The Prog Power Festival I believe it's in Atlanta. Super prog metal, power metal nerd's dream. Have some friends who go to it and say that it is pretty rad. The band Iron Savior was supposed to play and they canceled their appearance for reasons. When I heard about it, I knew I had to talk about it, and I would like to thank everyone in the comments of this clip video for helping this with the algorithm. So headbang the like button, stage dive onto the subscribe button, and windmill the video to your friends. If you're a fan of the channel and you'd like to show your support, consider becoming a member. Memberships are only 99 cents a month, and each one really helps me toward my goal of creating a life-size Godzilla to invade Canada. German band drops off US Fest due to Trump administration statement released. German rockers Iron Savior have bowed out of the upcoming Prog Power USA Festival, citing concerns over the current US administration and adding that they simply do not feel safe and welcome coming to the US to play. The band issued a full statement expressing their concerns that was shared both through their social media as well as the Prog Power, but on the Prog Power USA Festival, comments on the post on social media were turned off, with the lone remaining comment from the festival organizer stating, "As of right now, I have no idea who I am going after for a replacement. I don't intend on rushing things, but don't anticipate this taking months either, given the obvious circumstances." So on the Prog Power point alone here, they're already having issues with this year's festival because of visas for the bands. I read the statement that they made, and apparently the whole visa issue with the US is fucking retarded. It always has been. From what he said, I guess all visas for like foreign bands or whatever go to either two different offices. One is in California, one somewhere else. I forgot where he said. And he said that at least one of the visa applications he needed got sent to California, which takes much longer than the other place. And that's why he's having trouble right now, because when it goes to California, there's suddenly new charges and new taxes and new fees because it's wonderful California. Such a lovely place to live. So he was already having that problem with getting bands over here because of stupid visa issues. And now he has to find a whole nother band because Iron Savior wanted to make a statement. Blood Red says, "Shame, Iron Savior are a good band. Sad to see they're such wussies. Why are most Germans such liberal pussies?" That is Blood Red's take on that. Boo-hoo, what a bunch of pussies. I'm from Germany, but who the fuck is that band? Great question. That is Poppycock Irrational Reasoning. This is what the band said. "Dear Prog Power USA community, with the heaviest heart, we have decided that we cannot travel to Atlanta this year. The reason is as simple as omnipresent. The new Trump administration and their new world order. Trump, Vance, Musk are tearing down everything that has built up since World War II. They rewrite history and turn around the victim-aggressor role, denying that Ukraine has been invaded by Putin with 150,000 soldiers. I was unaware that anyone denied that an invasion happened. They call Ukraine's president a dictator who doesn't uphold elections, even though they know that elections are forbidden in Ukraine during war by their constitution. They send Vance over here telling us to start collaborating with the AfD Nazi party here in Germany. They spit on the truth and think freedom of speech means license to lie and to insult. Obviously, they are about to destabilize the Western world order so they can rewrite it to their needs to make even more money." I find it really funny that people, poor people, like to think that some of the richest people in the world who can literally afford to send rockets to space and back really want to steal the $500 in savings they have. That's their only goal. "We are deeply worried about this and simply do not feel safe and welcome in your country anymore. Of course, we know that only 50% of the voters voted for Trump and that 50% didn't vote at all. So wait a minute. Are you telling me that you think half the votes went to Trump and the other half who didn't vote for Trump didn't vote at all? Do you think there's like 150% of votes? That would mean that Kamala would have gotten 0 votes. If it was 50 didn't vote, 50 went to Trump, Trump would have got 100% of votes. Do you know what a math? How is your education system in Germany doing right now? That doesn't even make sense. We feel extremely sorry for those of you who think the same, but at this point, we can't foresee what will happen in the next months. Maybe things will calm down and your admin will somehow get back to their senses. Or will they proclaim the American-Russian Federation? All is possible, and this scares the hell out of us. We hope to return to Atlanta some other time in a better world like now. I hope you can understand and accept our decision. All the best, plastic pussies. Personally, me, the savior of metal, Wyatt, I do not accept your decision. I think this is the most pathetic, ridiculous, stupid cancellation for a concert maybe that I've ever seen. This is absolutely fucking stupid. And there's a lot more to it. Let's focus on the obvious metal side of it first. Let's take out my personal politics, anyone's personal politics of this. Let's focus on the fact that you were confirmed for a show that you agreed to. I have no idea if you got paid yet or not. And you are fucking over the promoter, the organizer, who didn't do anything, who's already having trouble with the lineup, and fucking over the fans who wanted to see you to make a political statement that is, not true, but also that a lot of those fans probably would agree with you on, as weird and random as it could have been. You could have played this festival and said fuck Trump on stage and probably would have been fine. What the fuck do you think? I don't feel safe in Atlanta anymore. On the Prague Power side of it, though, Prague Power said, I am turning off the comments as Prague Power USA is an entity that's all about the music and won't be getting into politics, it says at the end there. You know, you usually rip on people for blocking comments and not allowing comments. This time, I actually do respect it, because Prague Power themselves didn't really take a position on if they support this, if they don't support this. They just said, here's what happened, here's what the band said, we don't want to talk about politics. And honestly, I do respect that, because I'm of the mindset of, if politics are going to be brought into any situation, you can either discuss pretty much all of them or none of them. And either one I'm pretty cool with. Like, if I go somewhere and they're like, we're only focusing on whatever entertainment thing that says no politics, period, cool. I don't have an issue with that. I would have an issue if someone came in spouting politics, even if I agreed with it. If that was simply like, you know, we're just not doing that here. What I can't stand is when one is allowed but the other isn't, and they start crying bullshit. Sharon says, stupid reason. Thomas says, keep going. Kinky Sizemore says, as a long-time Prague Power attendee, this is up there with Orbit Culture, Windrose, and Arcturus with dumbest Prague Power cancellation excuses. What was Windrose? And I really wondered that too. Like, I mean, they say a lot to back up that this might be their genuine reason for canceling, but I was definitely like, is this some shit excuse? Could they just not afford to come here? Is there something else involved? Because this is so fucking stupid. Canceling because of Trump is just stupid. Let me ask you people watching this who don't like Trump. If you're a big fan of Iron Savior and you were going to go see them and you bought a ticket to see them and then they canceled the show and blamed Trump, do you not kind of take that as Trump getting a win over the band? Would it not be considered more metal to play the show and either say fuck Trump or, you know, join a protest while you're here or some shit? Well, boo fucking who to that too. I love my chat. You guys are making me real. I haven't seen one fucking stupid comment yet. That is crazy. Stunning and brave, they would say. Yes. Stormier says, Green Day are also anti-Trump and they don't cancel shows because of him. This band's reasoning is just stupid. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Exactly that. Hell, Stain said, fuck Joe Biden at Aftershock and people cheer. Hell yeah. Exactly. If they signed a contract, they will be sued. I would love to know if they got any type of payment. They might not have. It's kind of a small band, so I don't know, but like, that would be hilarious if there's some type of legal ramification for that. So you're saying that half the country just stayed on their couch on election night? Holy moly. A lot of people believe that, surprisingly enough. That would be a hell of a replacement. God damn. I've noticed the loudest anti-Trump celebrities all had the same island vacation spot. Fire Festival taking place this year. Disappointing your fans and the promoter for a political statement. I would never book you for anything again if you gave that retarded ass statement. And I would have done the same if a band was booked to play here and then they were like, we're canceling because of the Joe Biden administration. I'd be like, what? Dark Insanity is not going to refuse to play in Canada because of fucking Trudeau. That is the dumbest shit ever. forever. The singer said in the comments, just to clarify, this statement was made in this way because you deserve the truth and no blah blah due to internal reasons bullshit. It was not made to blame or insult any of you, nor slam the door. We just called you all either Nazis or lazy. But we have to stick to our ideals and beliefs. This part is gonna be fun. Singer guitarist Pete Simp addressed those who felt they were making a political no. What do you mean? What was political about that statement? So the whole thing was, some of you accused me of making a political statement on the back of the fans. This is not the case. That is literally textbook exactly what you just fucking did. You fucking pussy. The only reason why we are not traveling to the USA is our concern that in September things may be even a lot worse than today, and it may be dangerous for people like us who criticize the government openly to visit the US. So, a band of white Germans feels in danger over a supposed Nazi government for criticizing that government. Iron Savior, German band afraid of being arrested in the US for speaking against the administration. Iron Savior, which country was currently arresting people for social media posts? I'll give you a hint. It's not the one Trump is in charge of. If they're afraid of censorship in America, imagine how they'll feel about finding out their own country is literally arresting people for social media posts.
Is it a crime to insult somebody in public?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
And it's a crime to insult them online as well?
Yes.
The fine could be even higher if you insult someone in the internet.
Why?
Because in internet, it stays there. If we are talking here face to face, you insult me, I insult you, okay, finish. But if you're in the internet, if I insult you or a politician...
That sticks around forever.
Yeah.
Be afraid of America. Be afraid of criticizing the government here. We don't know what will happen.
It's 6:01 on a Tuesday morning, and we were with state police as they raided this apartment in northwest Germany.
Hier ist die Polizei, wir mussten bitte mal mit Ihnen reden.
Inside, 6 armed officers searched a suspect's home, then seized his laptop and cell phone. Prosecutors say those electronics may have been used to commit a crime. The crime, posting a racist cartoon online.
So afraid of what America might do. And by the way, I'm not saying that this band should be like pro-Trump or anything. I'm saying that they could come here and spout all the anti-Trump stuff they want and be fine. Germans are being arrested for insulting politicians. Not America. Not Trump's America. Current day Germany, where Iron Savior is hiding, afraid of the supposed Nazi Trump administration. The crackdown on hate speech in Germany has been applied in some pretty laughable contexts. In September, a criminal investigation was opened into a German citizen who called politician Ricarda Lang fat. That individual could serve up to a year in prison. Tell me more about how you know what could happen in America. Of course you know what could happen because your country's currently doing it. You fucking idiots. So I can't stand hypocritical bullshit. I could give a fuck like what politician you like and what side you consider yourself to be. I can't stand hypocritical, stupid, wrong bullshit. Some of you accuse me to speak about things which are not of my concern. First of all, everything the USA does is of concern for any human being on this planet, since the US actions affect the entire world. And you might want to actually learn what they're doing. Besides that, my mommy told me that Trump was bad, so I'm scared. Besides that, my mother has been living for over 30 years in San Francisco, California. There is the fucking problem. We have discovered the issue. California has been something like a second trash dump for me for centuries, and I used to live there myself. And if anyone's about to get mad at me, I live in Southern California. I think this qualifies for being concerned as well. You outed yourself. 30 years in San Francisco, California. No shit that you're this retarded. Some of you also accuse me of being badly informed by listening to the, quote, wrong news. I am from Germany, where the media is financed and run by the people. Are you sure about that? The media is committed to be neutral and unbiased by law. They say the same thing here. Besides that, we also have news run by commercial companies. Oh boy, that makes me feel so much better that they're telling the honest truth, which mostly are biased in the vein of their owners like in the US. Yeah, so you just said, some of you accuse me of watching the wrong news, but I don't. I only watch news that is openly biased. Some of you might have the wrong idea about our public medias. They're not operated by the government, nor has the government any control about the content. Sure they don't, little buddy. This is regulated by law. But since we're all human, this works not all the time 100%, but it works good enough for me to keep my trust in more or less neutral and unbiased coverage. I would like to ask the singer for Plastic Pussies, have you ever read an article from a news site that wasn't one that you already agreed with? Ever? Have you ever had a discussion with someone who doesn't just repeat the same things you already think? I'm willing to bet not. Some of you also accuse the Germans that we would forbid the freedom of speech. This is as wrong as can be, as we are currently arresting citizens for social media posts. Tell me more about how you watch the correct news. The freedom of speech opinion is anchored in our Constitution, unless you insult a public official. Then you can get your ass to jail. I'm not going to pretend to pronounce that. Also forbids censorship. I love how he's trying to back up, like, no, this is not just me being like fear-mongering. I'm backing up my statements, and he's just unraveling all of the horse shit. But unlike in the US, where literally everything is allowed to say, print, or picture, we have some limitation. I'm sorry, what did you just say? Was ist das? You say we would forbid freedom of speech. This is wrong as can be. We forbid censorship, but there's limitations. Insults. Immediately. Insults. Not even just I can understand defamation. Literal defamation. I understand that. Insults. Aspirations and incitement of the people / racial hatred are forbidden by law and will be prosecuted if violated. This simply means you can express any content as much as you want, as long as you don't insult or defame others and your content is not inciting the people. You can have freedom of speech as long as you don't say anything mean. You have freedom of speech until I go, hey, that made me a sad, and then you're arrested. We have learned that from the mistakes of the Weimar Republic, which allowed the Nazi Party to arise with all the horrors of World War II and the Holocaust. I'm not an expert, but I think that some things happened in between that. I don't think it just went from step one to the Holocaust. I think some things happened in between there, which were not good, but it's quite a simplification to just jump from that. This is where the vast majority of, oh, by the way, you mentioned we learned from the horrors of the Nazi Party as you're arresting people for speech. This is where the vast majority of the German society comes from, and I am totally okay to sacrifice a tiny little bit of my freedom of speech, having to make my points in a civilized way without hate, insult, and defamation. Did anyone tell you that you claim to be in a metal band? Because those are the tools, weapons of demagogues. Insults, the weapon of demagogues. Because, you know, legally not being allowed to insult party officials is about freedom. If you were legally allowed to call a German politician fat, you would be a weapon of the demagogue. Some of you also accuse me of having divided the Prague Power USA metal community. I'm sorry if I brought up a topic which is unpleasant, but the divide has been there long before I wrote the statement and was not made by me. I don't know if you made a divide so much more in the Prague Power community as much as among your own fans. The divide is made by politicians who use hate and defamation to manipulate people to their needs. My statement just made visible what is underneath the surface. But according to you, you're willing to give up your freedom to insult these people because it's mean. Once again, I would like to express my deepest regret that I'm a retarded cunt who can't even look into a news subject before canceling a show for a stupid fucking reason and disappointing all of our fans. Once again, I can only ask for your understanding and tolerance that I'm a retarded idiot. We don't claim to be right because you're not, but we have to base things on what we think is right. If we are right or not, time will tell. All the best, Dick. Time will tell, and I most certainly will. Because when Prague Power happens, I will be keeping a close eye on what is currently happening in American politics, and if there is any censorship bills that pass, saying that you can't speak out against Trump, then I will happily back up Iron Savior here. But seeing as how there isn't one that's even been proposed, I'm gonna call you all fucking idiots who are just soapbox standing. I think it's so hilarious that, I'm sorry, but white Germans are gonna talk about being afraid of Nazis. Sorry, just saying, I find that hilarious. Yes, agreed, libs killing Cali. That's why I want to move. No, he has not read an article ever. 100%. He has never had a conversation with anyone who thinks differently. That dude is very unstable. Correct. Rammstein would never pussy. What if the Scorpions had ditched their concert in the USSR in 1989 because of politics? Yeah. What if Metallica or Sepultura didn't play in, well, I know they played in Colombia. They played shows in like Chile and places too where shit's popped off. Shows in like Japan and China always been exactly the same. There are politicians on the supervisory boards of German public broadcasting, and it's common knowledge that journalists are picked by party affiliations. No, they're independent, just good people who report the truth. And the truth just happens to agree with everything I already believe. 1984 is happening. What is Winston and Julia? Who would fuck for and who would fuck for German rights? We talk out against the government, not the one in charge, apparently, since you haven't been arrested in your own country. That is pathetic. I would honestly have more respect for a band who went up and said fuck Trump. I still would find that weird, and I mean, I personally would be like, all right, that was dumb and out of nowhere, but I would still put that a step above this retarded shit. I have my fully music opinion on business-wise of this being stupid, and then I have my personal political opinion of this being really fucking stupid. CIA wrote Winds of Change for the Scorpions. I thought I've heard that. The CIA also created Jim Morrison. Did you know that? Your freedom of speech isn't the same as my freedom of speech. I can insult your politicians, but you can't insult mine. I can call your politician and all of his supporters literal Nazis, but you can't call my politician fat or you're going to jail because you live in a Nazi country. I don't think you know what these words mean. War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. Absolutely. Can I say how much I appreciate my chat? Because I didn't see one stupid unhinged comment during that, which is very surprising for this subject because there are plenty of people commenting on like Metal Sucks' post on it being like, I support the band honestly, I understand. I'm like, you're stupid. Case in point, actually, to back that up, at Aftershock, I saw a band called Zulu, and they are a openly very pro-leftist, wearing like activist shirts on stage. Their songs are about that. Aftershock is a very mainstream corporate festival that had military sponsorships, and they still played, and they spoke their message, if you want to call it that. And I respect that. A lot more in this lame sheet. Are any fans of Iron Savior disappointed that they won't see them? No matter your thought on Trump, are you disappointed that you won't see them now because of this? Scarecrow was right. Some people without brains have an awful lot to say. Iron Savior is right. Iron Savior. From now on this channel will be known as Plastic Pussies, white Germans who are afraid of being arrested for speaking against a apparent Nazi, which I feel like if there's anyone who would be coming from a, as they like to use the term, place of privilege in that situation, it would be them. That's why I hype on it. I cannot stand people who are screaming about Nazism, racism, everyone's a racist. And the people who are screaming that are all white. They're all like plastic, vanilla, like pencil white. Like the people who run Amazon Prime's Rings of Power, claiming anyone doesn't like our show is racist. They are the most white Poindexter fucking losers I've ever seen. So I'm like, you are the ones who should not be talking about this, you fucking morons. Rage Against the Machine is just gonna shout fuck Trump on stage, which is a lot better. You imagine Rage canceling a show because Trump won and we're sad so we're not gonna play. Like, what? Anyway, yeah, Plastic Pussies, I do not accept your reason for canceling the show. I find it one of the most pathetic reasons ever. Rather than literally having a conversation with someone with different opinions, you make this whole ass statement. 3, 2, 1!
Move this man!
Night Fox is right. Most people that scream racism and Nazism have no idea what those words mean, and then they even preach a lot of the same tenets from those things that they claim to be so against. Travels of a Headbanger say, Millie from Creator and Barney from Napalm Death tour here and shit on Trump yearly! I've seen Napalm Death in America countless times talk out against Trump or any politician that was in charge. I've seen Dead Kennedys do it, Jello Biafra. None of them ever got arrested, Iron Savior, you fucking idiots. This is literally why more people voted for Trump this time around. You'd think these people would learn by now. They did not. In my own personal political journey, the previous time Trump won, I thought like them. And then I paid attention, and now I don't. See how easy that was. Black Flag would eat this shit up. Yeah. If you hate a politician so much and they win and you cancel your show in their country that they had nothing to do with, that they weren't going to be at, that was probably going to be full of people that don't like that politician, and you cancel the show, I feel like you just let them win. Or more for from me, check out my band Dark Insanity. You can find us on Instagram, on Spotify, on all of the streaming platforms, on Bandcamp as well. We have our EP Rabid Psychosis out now. We've got merch available for the channel and for the band. Now you can get White's Metal t-shirts, Savior of Metal hats, Dark Insanity t-shirts, Dark Insanity weed bags. We've got everything. Links for all of my stuff can be found in the description of this video. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.